I want to give all the honors and the praises and all the glory belongs to my Lord and Savior. His name is Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Mahavakar Kodash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. His Son's name is Yahweh Shai, in whom I reverence. And honors to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the few, the very few brothers and sisters listening and also learning in the hopes of being saved within these last days, because we are living in the last days of the last days, and Lord willing you will be edified, and we're just going to flow with the Spirit and get what we need to get, and we're going to bring it out. We already know what the deal's going to be, and you know what we need to do. We need to remain calm, patient, and really examine ourselves. We all have triggers, but guess what? You got to learn yourself. Then you can't be triggered by the enemy, right? So we're going to flow with the Spirit. Because what do they want? They want a human global database. Everybody on it, right? And these people, they're going to take the chip, right? Most of them. This is Psalm 64 and 1. Hear my voice, O Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. So the fear of the enemy would be who? The adversaries to Yahweh Shai. So we want ourselves to be preserved from the fear of the enemy. The enemies, all these other nations, these witches, these warlocks, they're the enemies of Yahweh Shai. The people that are in these groves, right? And it says, we're not to fear them, we're supposed to fear Yahweh Shai. We ain't supposed to fear no flipping human traffickers, people that are trafficking children for a living. Why are you fearing them? You're supposed to fear Yahweh Shai. Because we know Yahweh Shai's going to judge their wicked asses. And rightfully so. Right? How's a cult member going to judge you righteously when they're a part of a satanic cult? And it says, preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. So we want our lives to be preserved from the enemy, the fear of the enemy. And it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. So you also have those that have a secret counsel against us. You know, looking at ways to entangle us. So we want to be hidden from the secret counsels of the wicked. And they're having counsels every single day. These witches, these warlocks, beginning with the elites, then it's lower, then you've got your masons. They're having counsels against us, how they can destroy us. And who's us, the 12 tribes of Israel? This ain't no joke, this is deadly serious. You better think twice before you think about coming up against those that have this truth. And it says, from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. So you have those that are working iniquity, working sin. Yeah, you have those that work sin, workers of iniquity, right? Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot, right? In secret at the perfect. So we're being shot at, right? At the perfect. So there is perfect men upon the earth. That would represent the elect. And we're being shot at. By what? By the wicked. So it's the wicked that are shooting at us, right? And it says, even bitter words. So we're being shot at with bitter words, right? And this begins with the elites first, on down, okay? That they may shoot at the secret, at the perfect. So we're being shot at, right? We're being shot at. And it says, suddenly do not shoot at him and fear not. So we're being shot at spiritually, and there's no fear before their eyes. These are different traps within society. There's many traps. And it says, They encourage themselves in an evil matter, they say. They commune of laying snares. A snare is a trap. Right? Privily, they say, who shall see them? So this is what the elites are doing. They're setting traps. And they're saying, who's going to see us? But what they don't realize, the Heavenly Father sees them. Right? All these things need to happen. Excuse me just a minute. All right? It's all spiritual, man. Right? The Lord sees the traps. Right? And we see the traps because we got the eye salve. Right? Alright, let's continue. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. So you got those getting together for evil purposes. Right? They commune of laying snares privily. So that's what the people are doing. Laying snares. Privily, secretly. There's all types of snares out here. There's all types of traps. And they're laying them traps privily. Secretly. Right? And your demonic cast network started getting brought down, right? And your little witchcraft, that ain't gonna work against the servants of the Lord. The Lord's bringing that down, right? You can see, bro, you can see the spirits in certain people, right? And it says, they commune of laying snares privily, so that's what they're doing, they're laying snares. You got people laying traps for the righteous, thinking we're gonna fall into them traps. But the elect are not going to fall into them traps because the elect are covered by Yahweh Shai. So we will not fall into them traps that are prepared for us. Right? There's many traps out here. And it says, they shoot at secret at the perfect. Suddenly they shoot at him, so we're being shot at. Right? They commune of laying snares privily. So they're laying snares for us as well. Right? A snare is a jinn. And it says, they say, who shall see them? But the Lord, Yahweh Shai, sees them. The Lord can see everything the wicked are doing. Every single thing these wicked people are doing, the Lord could see it. Remember, we're dealing with Satanists. We're dealing with cult members. You're dealing with people that drink blood. You're dealing with people that, sacrifice children. You're dealing with sex trafficking. You're dealing with prostitution. Right? You're dealing with witch covens. That's what we're coming up against. And because we have this truth, they don't like it. Right? They don't like it because we're exposing the truth. And we're exposing what they do as well, their dark deeds. We're exposing how they sacrifice their children. We're exposing how they exploit their children as well. All these things are going on. Right? But a lot of these people, they got their head buried in the sand. Right? That's why they panic. When I come around, they start panicking. Because they don't like the truth. Okay? They say, who shall see them? But the Heavenly Father sees them. The Heavenly Father sees your demonic church organizations as well. They're getting shut down as well. Right? Your covens, your witch covens, right? Your little demonic practices. The Lord sees them. All that's getting cast down. Right? The Lord sees your traps. The Lord knows your thoughts. He knows your thoughts better. He knows you better than you know yourself. Right? The Lord knows everything. Okay? The Lord can read minds. Yahushua was able to do that. Okay? We're going to continue to teach His word. Okay? Go to Proverbs 18 and jump straight to verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil. Right? That's what a prudent man does. So we're able to foresee the evil. Because we have eyesight, we have discernment. Right? Prudent. So we're prudent in matters. Right? And you see these people going in and out of these stores and these places as well. These food. You just know people ain't right. You can just look at people and see they ain't right. And it says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil. So if you're really prudent, you're going to be able to foresee evil. You're able to sense it before you even see it. Right? A prudent man foreseeth evil. It's called what? Foresight. The elect have foresight. So they can see through evil. They can see when someone's doing wickedness because they have foresight, or should I say insight, right, to what people are doing. Okay? And it says, and hideth himself. But we're not hiding ourselves now, we're hiding ourselves in terms of knowing when to draw back, knowing when to go out. And it says, but the simple pass on. So most of these people, they're simple, that's why they're just going to pass on. Because they're simple. And the simple pass on. The simple don't want to hear this word. Alright then. Right? That's what the simple are going to do. The simple are going to pass on. Because they're in the way of what? Death. They're in the way of destruction. Go to Matthew's. This is a very narrow path. Right? You on this side? This is Matthew's 7. Okay? Go to Matthew 7. This is Matthew 7. And jump straight to verse 24. You know what? I'll go to 24. Let's go to something else. This is Matthew 7 and 13. Enter ye into the straight gate. This is the straight gate. This is where you want to be entering into. Right? Yeah, you can shake your head, but this is the truth. You can shake your head, but this is the truth. Right? You demon. Okay? Enter ye into the straight gate. For wide is the gate, and straight is the way, and broad that leadeth to destruction. So the broad gate is destruction, right? And many people, this is a broad path. And that's why you can see them on that broad path, right? Okay? All these people there on that broad path of destruction, right? You see Satan, right? A lot of these people are fucking pedophiles, trafficking children in and out of these buildings, right? Right, everything's going to get exposed. You and your friends are going to get exposed as well. Thinking you're onto something. You ain't onto shit. Right? People think they're wise. They're not wise. These people are wise to do evil. Right? That's what they're wise to do. Evil. Right? And you know what? I'm gonna put a curse on this Nando's as well. Yahweh by Sham Yahweh Shai. Abad Salak Rayam Shapacham Harakyam Abad to this Nando's. May Yahweh Shai shut this store down. Wicked ass store. Right there, brother. Yeah. Right? This is a wicked society, man. Wicked. The things that these people are doing. And they wanna look at you like you're off. They're off. Right? Look at these fucking idiots, man. And you know what, you get tired of, sometimes you get tired of looking at some of these people. Because you know the judgment that the Lord's going to bring upon this place. But our thing is to get the blood off our hands. Right? Get the blood off our hands. Because when it's all said and done, that judgment's going to fall upon your head. Okay? So it says, enter into the straight gate. Straight is difficult. This is a straight gate. This is a straight path. Right? Straight gate, straight path. And only a few going to be on that straight path. You think people are onto something? The Lord sees what these people are doing. Satan, what Satan will try to do? He will try to project an image of you who you're not. That's Satanism, that's witchcraft. Right? But I ain't buying that. Right? You got people walking in and out of these Nando's as well, doing all types of wickedness. Right? And it says, I hope the Lord shuts this store down. And it says, enter into the straight gate. This is the straight gate. Straight, difficult. Path of difficulty. So it's not an easy journey, this ain't. Only a few are going to be in that path. Right? And you got people trying to study, you know what, sense your energy. Bro, you can't sense my energy. I can read you from miles away. I can read you from miles away. You ain't onto nothing. Right? And it says, broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. So this is a broad path. Let me pan the camera. Let me pan the camera. Right? This is the broad path. Check this out. And many people are walking on it. Right? And you got these actors, right? Role play. You see all this here? This is a role play. When I'm gone, they're going to go right back in. Right? Doing your little demonic hand gestures. This is role play. Right? And if you ain't right, the Lord's going to destroy your ass anyway. Because you don't stand for anything. Right? You're an enemy of Yahweh Shai. Right? That's what you're an enemy. And you're a traitor to your own people. Right? And the Lord's going to visit you real soon. Right? So this is all this here is role play. All these people are actors. Right? When I come out, they act. But when I leave town, they go right back to how they are. Because they're fucking actors. Right? And the Lord's going to judge them as well when it's all said and done. Right? That's why you need to be real about this. What you're doing. Okay? So it says, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way. Straight and narrow is the way. So this is a narrow path. Right? This path ain't for many. This path is for the few. And only a few are going to receive this word. Well, I hear I'm shouting, people are acting like they don't see me. I'm shouting loud, people are acting like they don't see me. More acting. Because we're in a world of actors. Right? Everybody's an actor. And this world is a stage. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way. So this is a very straight gate. And narrow is the way. So there are going to be a few that are going to be in that narrow gate. Okay? This is Psalms, right? Psalm 37. Come on now. This is Psalm 37, right? Let me pan the camera. Flip it, bro. This is what society's come to. This is sad, man. This is what society's come to, right? You got people, they're not even real, they're fake. Fake people, fake lives, right? This is Psalm 37. Check this out. Check this out. Psalm 37. And it says, Baba Kasha, fret not thyself because of evildoers. So we're not supposed to be fretting because of evildoers. Because people want to be evil. You're not supposed to be agitated by that. Right? Neither be thou envious at the workers of iniquity. These are workers of iniquity. Right? These are people that work iniquity, sin. Neither be envious against the workers of iniquity. So the people that you see, that's what they're working. They work iniquity. Right? Alright. Not all of them, not everybody, but most of them. Right? And it says, and they want you to get involved, but we can't do that. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. So the workers of iniquity, they're going to be cut down and they're going to wither as the grass. We don't have to worry. All we have to do is just teach this word. Right? Trust in the Lord Yahweh Shai. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trust in my power, whose name is Yahweh, by Sham Yahweh Shai. I want to continue to do that. Right? When they trust in Satan. And do good. Thou shalt dwell in the land and thou shalt be fed. So do the right thing, right? And you shall dwell in the land and you shall be fed. Right? What land? The land of Israel. Delight thyself also in the Lord Yahweh Shai, and he shall give thee the desires of thy heart. So what are we going to do? We've got to delight ourselves in this word. And he's going to give us what our desires of thy heart. And a desire ain't a wicked thing. A desire is a good thing. Or a desire could be a wicked thing. Depending. And it says, Baba Kasha, verse 5, commit thy way unto the Lord Yahweh Shai. So we got to commit ourselves. Come on now. Commit thyself. So this takes effort. This takes passion. Okay? Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. So we got to trust in the Lord, and he's going to bring that judgment to pass. Okay? And it says, and he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light and judgment as the noonday. So the Lord's going to bring our judgment as the noonday. But we just have to be patient. And once we're patient, we're going to see that judgment play out. You're seeing people get beat up by XO pit bulls. You're seeing floods. You're seeing hurricanes. You're seeing volcanoes. We're seeing all these things. And it's just going to play out on a larger level. Okay? Rest in the Lord. So where's our rest? Our rest is in this truth. And I'm amped up today. So we got to rest in the Lord, Yahweh by Shem, Yahweh Shai. And everything else is going to be dealt with. Ain't no type or form of witchcraft that's going to prevail against Yahweh Shai. None. Yes, man. Right? So we got to rest in Yahweh Shai. That's our rest. We can't rest in this world. Right? This world is corrupted. It's about the 12 tribes of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Indianos that descend from the same, and those are also Israelite foreigners, Irish, Celts, Iberians, and so forth. It's not a colour thing, it's down to your nationality of your father.
Nothing should be a colour thing, man.
Oh no, nothing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to teach you, man. It's like, you know, racism is man.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's a particular nation that the Lord chose us, the nation of Israel.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
the Heavenly Father is a citizen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But if this resonates with you, you're an Israelite, read in the Bible.
Yeah. I guess that, man. Yeah, I heard you, man.
So rest in the Lord, wait patiently for him. So we got to wait patiently for our Savior. Okay? Yeah, so called Jesus.
Yeah.
But his real name is Yahweh Shai. He's a dark-skinned man.
What's it?
White woolly hair, and he had red eyes. Okay? He had a Jackson 5 accent. Right? So the Heavenly Father and his Son were dark-skinned men. Right? He wasn't white. That's a false image.
That's what people think.
Yeah. And I've got the Revelations. I've got Revelations 1. So what? Do you?
I've read Revelations a lot.
So you are a believer in the Bible?
I believe in Jesus and God, yeah. I was brought up to by my grandmas.
Okay.
Yeah, both my grandmas were very church faith. So.
Well, I've got something. This is Revelations 1. And go straight to verse 13. And in the midst of 7 golden candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot and girt about with the paps with a golden girdle. So the paps of the golden girdle would be what? The mid-region. Right? So the girdle, you have a belt. And it says, this is Revelations 1 and 14. And his hairs were white like wool.
I saw you use Facebook Live. I'm wondering.
And hairs white
His
like
legs
wool.
gone. His legs gone.
So the same color.
His legs gone.
Okay. And his eyes were as the flame of fire. He had red with wine. So his eyes were red because he drank a lot of wine. Come back to Genesis.
That's what most Roman emperors do.
Yeah.
Drink loads of wine.
How old are you, young man?
I'm 11.
11. And you're telling me that's what most Roman empires do. So you're very serious yourself. Very serious.
I'm very good in history.
Wow. Okay. So you know about Caesar?
Yeah.
You know about Caesar?
He got killed.
Yeah.
Cassio and Brutus.
Wow. Yeah, they're in the Bible. All these people in the Bible. So it's very into history.
Yeah.
Bible, the man in the church gave you.
Yeah. Yeah, I still got it.
Alright, you know what?
I was taken into a church in Carshorten. Like, we was having a look around, and like, a man came over and he gave him like basically like the children's like, so it's like simplified version.
Yeah.
Gave
But
him
you
that.
know what? It's not quite the same. The main one is from the King James version. This is the most accurate version out there. And if I was you, I wouldn't take the child to church with all the scandals that are going on. You know about what's going on. You know, children getting passed around, and this is what I'm trying to bring out as well. But nobody else wants to. They don't want to speak about it. You got people trafficking children, right? And they're trying to turn it back on me like I'm doing something. I'm telling them what's going on within society. Children are being trafficked. So please, if you can, just teach, get a Bible and teach your son.
Oh, no, we don't go to church.
Yeah.
But he likes church buildings.
Okay, yeah, I understand the designs and everything.
Right,
Yeah.
Because what they're doing is off, you know.
Yeah.
And these people are just getting moved from parish to parish. All of them.
Paying no tax and all that.
Yeah, it's called 501c3 charter, which is a tax exemption. Most of these buildings are tax exempt, but they're tax exempt because they have to sugarcoat the doctrine. Me, I'm not a part of no church, nothing. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't have a battery pack in my back getting told what to say. I'm free. Even a lot of these people that stand in front of me, they've been told to stand there. They have handlers. But it's just to discourage me.
Yeah.
But I'm free. It says in John 8:32, you should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
Yeah.
So you're free. You're not bound to any church. Yes,
That's one of my favourite sayings.
Yeah, I've got that.
Are you recording this?
Oh yeah, you're on. Yeah, I'm recording.
Are you putting it on YouTube?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yes, man. I'm gonna
You
be
got
famous.
yeah. You're gonna be a star today.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I've got that. John 8:38. Yeah, this is a wicked society. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So if you know Yahweh Shai, if you know the Bible, you're made free. You're not restricted.
Yeah.
You don't have a handler telling you what to do, how to think, what to wear. You're free.
Yeah.
And you're free from the Pharisaical law. You know, you had the Pharisees that were against the Messiah. You know about that, the Pharisaical law. They were trying
I remember that from school.
Yeah, they were trying
That
to
was
get
a long
him
time
put to
ago.
death. They were trying to get him put to death and all these things. You know, they were against him. He was being watched. The Messiah was being watched 24/7. Couldn't have no break. So
Like Messiah.
the Messiah, his name is Yahweh Shai.
can do
Yahweh Shai. Remember that name, Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
Call upon that name. And he was being followed. He was being monitored because it's the message he had. And when you have this truth, you become
like it.
yeah.
That's it, man.
A lot of people.
But that's, that's the thing back in them days. Those people didn't want to hear that.
And it's the same. But why didn't they want to hear it? There was service.
How long have you been recording?
I've been on for about nearly 30 minutes.
Oh my god. What's your YouTube channel called?
I don't really want to give it out. I don't really want to give it out because so much things are happening. If anyone's going to find it, they're just going to find me. You know what I mean? I don't really want to give it out. So this is Luke.
He's just YouTube crazy.
I just want to find myself on YouTube. Famous one day.
I don't think you'll be famous, it just means you'll be on.
So this is Luke 21. And go straight to verse 19. Right? Go to verse 20. And they watched him. So, see, they have to go on now. And they watched him. See, that's what you always teach this word. And Satan has to flee. That's good.
Yeah.
And they watched him. Yeah, Satan is the devil. You're right. But the Lord will me go more into that as well.
And God is God.
The devil isn't just the devil.
And they watched him and sent forth spies so he would be in watch. And cover your arse up as well.
Hey,
And they watched him and sent forth spies, right? Which should, I'll slack it for my language, and should send forth spies. So there were spies being sent out. There were spies being sent out for the Messiah. So this is real stuff. If you have the truth, you're going to be watched. You're going to be targeted because what you're speaking the truth. This is not a light thing, but still, we're supposed to still stay calm and not get outside of character. This is something I'm still learning. These people are trying to what's the word? Trigger. Everybody has a trigger. Everybody has a trigger.
Do you do this every Saturday?
Yeah, I do it every day.
Wow.
Every single day. But Saturdays are like the main camp days where you need to be up.
More people,
Right?
isn't it?
Yeah, more people.
So listen.
And it says, and they watched him and sent forth spies. So there were spies being sent out to the Messiah. So they were spying him out, which would feign themselves just men. So these men, they were not just men, they were feigning, they were pretending to be just. That means they weren't just, because if you're a just man, you don't need to make much effort. That's going to just be shown, it's going to come out. You know what I mean? And it says that they might take hold of his words. So they were trying to take hold of the Messiah's words. They were trying to entangle him in his speech. Right? So that they might deliver him unto the power and the authority of the governor. So they were trying to deliver the Messiah unto the power of the governor. You know, in Rome they had
Yeah.
governors as well.
Yeah.
So they were trying to deliver him unto the Romans. This is how wicked our people are. And they asked him, saying, Master, we know that thou sayest thou teachest rightly, neither accept the person of any, but teachest the way of the Most High truly. So they knew the Messiah was an honest and upright man. Is it lawful for us to give tribute unto Caesar or no? So that's what they were asking. Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar? What's tribute? Tribute is tax.
Yeah.
So they were trying to catch him out. Barely, just them. Let me see if I
Like
can.
give money to Caesar when he's dead.
No. When this is why he was alive. This is why he was alive. Yeah, I'm gonna go more into it. I'm looking for something else to match that up. Oh yes. All right. Let's continue. And it says, neither accept the person of any man. Is it lawful to give? Is it lawful for us to give tribute unto Caesar or no? But he perceived their craftiness. So we had great levels of perception of Messiah. You know, he could read minds.
In Jesus.
Yeah, you could look at people and read their minds and see what is in them. Yeah. It's called discernment. And I have that discernment. But not where I can actually look at every single detail. But it's discernment where you can kind of, you know.
Like
can
read
tell
their
them.
mind.
Yeah, you can. If someone's talking bad or, yeah. Or looking, there's a spirit.
I'm a big believer in auras.
Yeah?
I have a friend of mine who I've known for 30 years.
Mhm.
She's very into like spiritualism and all that sort of thing. Yeah? And she's always this aura and sort of, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I've picked it up from her. I'm like, you be talking to some person in the street or say in the pub or something, and you're like, I don't want to talk to this person.
Yeah. It's just got a shady spirit or envy. It could be envy, it could be hate, it could be anything.
They could be standing being the friendliest person in the world, but you're still like, no.
Something's off.
And they'd be like, nah.
Yeah.
Not talking to this man.
That's why we got to examine. The scripture says, try the spirits by the spirits, because there be many false prophets that have gone out here. And a woman came up and she told me that Croydon this is very demonic town, very demonic town. Most witches and warlocks actually in this town. It's the most demonic town in. She said the world. I don't think the world. Not the world.
No,
she said that
she's
now
obviously
because
never heard of South Central.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
And Los Angeles, and yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's one of the most demonic towns in London. I can agree with that, but not the world.
Yeah.
I see that because of what I know what goes on up here.
Like in
I used to
America.
spend a lot of time up here.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of it.
Like the school shootings in America.
Yeah.
And the reason why you want to know why them school shootings were done, young man? Because these people were being harassed by the government.
Oh my God.
Called the gang stalking program.
Being bullied.
Yeah, they were being bullied, they were being harassed, and they were being tortured.
So one day they just
Flipped it.
They just be like, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, that's
You're
why-
dying, bro.
Yeah. Gang stalking program. It's called a gang stalking program, which people get put on. Targeted program, targeted individuals.
I know I read a hell of a lot of crime books. I used to want, when I was younger, I wanted to be a policeman.
Okay.
So like basically all my books are like they're all everything.
Yeah.
Crime. I just finished reading the FBI one. Very interesting.
And the FBI, they infiltrate, they target people.
They're targeting you without you even knowing they're doing it.
For years.
Yeah.
But that's something they have to build up. They have to build up a case.
Yeah.
And most people they target are innocent.
Oh my God.
They've got like a specialised gang department in the police department.
Yeah, it's called the Rampart scandal. They were a part of Death Row. You know about Tupac and They had a police.
I
They
listen
had
to rap music all the time.
yeah,
bro.
they
It's my
had
music.
they had the Bloods, right? These were officers that were part of the Bloods, right? Because the Blood is a Masonic fraternity. All the gangs, everything is Masonic and lodge.
Yeah.
So when you're part of that, you get protected. So this is what's going on. Those that are on this targeted individual side, right, and targeted, the whole thing is to criminalize them and have them looking a certain way, like they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing. So it's, and look how he got set up. And Orlando Anderson, he was a patsy.
Orlando, man, I don't think.
Yeah, he was a patsy. I don't think he done it. It was it was officers that took him out. Because the way
the thing is with Orlando, right? He apparently did that, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, oh, who's dead? Orlando.
Because they took him out.
Yeah.
He was a
so
patsy.
He couldn't say anything.
That's right. All the witnesses got taken out, but I don't want to speak too much on that.
No, man, it's all good.
I'm already done. Enough. So,
Boss man, listen, we've got to shoot. Right?
All right, yes.
Pleasure talking to you, man.
Yeah, what's your name?
Nathan.
Nathan. Yeah, there's Nathan the prophets in the Bible.
I know.
Yeah, read this Bible, man, and get into these scriptures.
Yes.
Right?
I will.
Right? He's a wise young man.
Gives you something
Praise
better
him
to
up
do
well.
than football all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you next Saturday.
Right, right. But you raised him up well.
He's his mum, but he's just, I try to teach him right.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want him to be one of these people walking around all the time like, I'm going to beat you up.
Yeah,
You know,
ignorant.
so, yeah, what's that? That's an idiot. Yeah.
So,
You've got to be clever.
in terms of school, what does he go
Man, what school you at now, bro?
Abingdon House.
He's at a private school now.
private school?
Yeah.
You pay for it?
No, he's got
Council
autism.
funding it.
And because they didn't give him a school, they had to find him a school. So they sent him and his best mate to this private school.
Hey, you're lucky, right?
Man,
That's good.
I know.
his lunches are lush. I want to go to his school just for the food.
Right, that's heavy. That's heavy.
Yeah, I know.
You'll learn a lot there, mate.
Because the public schools here, trash.
You're rubbish.
Public
Yeah.
school system.
Yeah.
They could teach you certain things, but
But
no, I don't
the
know
thing
what
is,
it
you're
is.
taught to a certain specific thing, and that's what it is.
And-
you're taught government, basically.
Yeah, programming, which I want to do a lesson on that later on. Everything we're doing in society is programming, we've been conditioned.
Everything is propaganda. Everything. Everything. Just like they're going this war going on, that it's all propaganda.
Yeah.
It's that. I know that everything in life is propaganda.
Can't.
They take all the government, that's all propaganda.
Yes, yes. And guess who runs the news and everything? It's the CIA. It's the MI5. You know when you watch the news? You know when they got the camera zoomed in, zoomed out, they keep changing it from this person, that
Yeah,
person? That's the CIA operation.
What I always want to know, at the end of the news,
Yeah.
why they always shoveling papers at the end?
Because that's what they're reading from. They're reading from a script that's given to them. The life, this earth is
They've
a
got to
fair
make sure that they've got it right.
Yeah.
They just need to learn their lines without the script.
Right, say that in the camera. Speak to the news, casters. Say that again.
Yeah, you need to learn your lines without script.
That's right. That's right.
Like,
That's
serious?
yeah, that's something for you newscasters. Because what are they casting? They're casting spells, right, young man? They're casting spells upon you. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you wake up to society and how everything is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've all had to grow up with a certain level of programming. But I've got something for you.
Yeah.
But we break out of that. Once you wake up to this truth, and they hate people that break up out of it. These are the people that are targeted and that are put on a watch list and are studied and are experimented on as well because they can think outside of the box. So these things are happening. This is Romans 12. And be not conformed to this world. So con is with formed image. Yes, and formed. Don't be formed to the image of this world, the way this world does things. Because you see how these people are, they're like, no disrespect, but they're like robots. They all walk the same, they will speak the same, they all have the same thought. They call it hive mind mentality.
Hive mentality.
Right. But be transformed by the renewing of your
Yeah.
mind. So we need to be transformed, young man. How are we transformed? By this word. This word is transforming. I'm still growing, but you're supposed to be transformed every single day. These words transform you if you apply it.
Yeah.
By the renewing of your mind. So how do our minds get renewed? By reading the scriptures.
Yeah.
That's how our minds get renewed. So read the scriptures constantly. Right? What do you say? Oh, yeah. I try to say as careful as possible. Aye, you know what? Aye. Ain't none good but the Heavenly Father. Sometimes I feel like I'm not worthy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You feel like that at times now.
We have to shoot. Get this person back. Take it easy, brother.
Yeah, thanks for coming past. I expect Nathan. Not doing me and me again.
Take care, man.
I thank you, man. That's alright, man. And it says this is Romans 12, and be not conformed to this world. So we're not supposed to be conformed to the ways of this world. But be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So our minds have to be renewed in Yahweh Shai Mashiach. And it says, Babakashah, that you may prove what is good. So we want to prove what is good to us and acceptable in the perfect will of Yahweh by Sham Yahweh Shai. So let's prove what is acceptable, what is good. Okay? And what is acceptable, what is good? Teaching these words and giving life to what? The people that need to hear this word. That's what's acceptable. Right? For I say unto you, for the grace given unto me, we've been given grace. This is a grace period. Okay? To every man among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. So we need humility. This truth needs to be mixed with humility as well. As well. Okay? And it says, but to think of himself according to it, dealt every man the measure of faith. So every man has a measure of faith. And with that measure of faith, we cannot boast. Okay? We cannot boast with that measure of faith. Okay? So we went to that, see what else we can find. Because we all have different members within this body. Here we go. This is 1 Corinthians and 12th chapter. Check this out. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. So we all have spiritual gifts, right? What we can't be ignorant of. Ye were Gentiles, carried away of dumb idols. Excuse me just a minute. So we were Gentiles. Okay? Gentiles. So we were living like other nations. Okay? And it says carried away with these dumb idols. So we were serving dumb idols. Right? He looks like a young, sensible man. Just a minute. And it says, you know that you were Gentiles, right? Carried away unto these dumb idols. Okay? Even as you were led. Wherefore, I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Spirit of the Most High calleth Yahweh Shai accursed. Nor that man say, Yahweh Shai is Lord, but the Holy Spirit. Now there are diversities of gifts. There's many different gifts. Diversities within this truth. Okay? And it says, but the same Spirit. So we have a diversity of different gifts, but we all have the same Spirit within this truth. Right? We all have different gifts. Okay? And it says, now are there differences of administrations? Right? So we have different administrations and offices within this truth. Right? And it says, but the same Lord. So we still have the same Lord, the same Messiah. Okay? There are diversities of operations. So we also have different operations within this ministry. We all operate differently. But it's still to the self-same body. And it says, by the manifestation, the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. Right? For one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom. So you've got brothers that are more wise. When it comes to wisdom, they can teach you about certain levels of wisdom. Right? How to deal with women. How to deal with finance. Right? Because they're wise in those matters. Okay? And it says, Baba Kasha, to another of knowledge. Okay? By the same Spirit. So you got to another the knowledge by the same Spirit. Right? But it's of the Spirit of Yahweh Shai. Okay? To another by the same faith. By the same Spirit. So you also have those that have faith, higher levels of faith. So they can teach you faith. Okay? To another, the working of miracles. So you got brothers that can also work miracles. Watch it now, don't fall over. So you got the working of miracles also, right? Where miracles can be worked. And we're able to work them miracles through the spirit and power of, we're able to work the spirit, that power by the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Right? They're miracles. Okay? And it says another to the prophecy. So we also got prophecy as well. Brothers that can go into prophecy on a high level. Some higher than others, some shorter. Right? We have these gifts. And these gifts need to be used. Okay? You use it or lose it. Come on now. And it says, come on. To another, the working of miracles. And we're going to get into that. There's going to be much more miracles being worked. You're going to see people getting healed. You're going to see deaf people that are going to be able to hear. You're going to see blind people that are going to be able to see. You're going to see these things in this lifetime. Okay? To another, prophecy. To another, the discerning of spirits. So yes, we can even discern particular spirits as well. And it says, to another, diverse kind of tongues. You got brothers that can speak in different languages. Okay? To another, the interpretation of tongues. So we can also interpret tongues as well. Okay? And it says, but all these worketh, but one and self-same spirit, to dividing to every man severally as he will. So we all have different gifts within this truth. And them gifts are being divided amongst what our people. Different gifts, same spirit. The spirit of Yahweh Shai. Right? So you can't look at another man and say, well, I can't do what he does. It's the same gift. It's the same spirit. Different, like a different gift, same spirit. Okay? And it says, for as the body is one body, and have many members, there's many members, right, to a body. Check that out. Right? And it says, all the members have not the same body. Okay? Being many are one body, so is Mashiach. So you have many members within that one body that make up the body. Okay? So we went to that Baba Kashar. Check that out. I'm flowing with the spirit, flying with the spirit. And I've got to stay focused because the people out here, they're trying to get you sidetracked as well. So we've got to stay focused on the mission, on the purpose, which is this word. Right? Let's see what else we can find. Flow with the spirit. This is Matthew 11. Right, excuse me just a minute, And 16, but whereunto shall I liken this generation? Right? It shall be like children sitting in the markets, right? And calling unto their fellows, and saying, we have what? Piped unto you. We're piping unto you right now. We are piping unto you with this word. Okay? But only a few of our people are receiving that message, receiving that sound. Okay? We have piped unto you. Okay? Bear me just a minute. Where is it now? We have piped, saying we have piped unto you, right? Through this word, okay? And you have not danced, so we're piping unto you, but you're not dancing. We have mourned unto you. So when you have a song, a good song, you're supposed to dance. So you're supposed to dance the beat of the tune, which is this word. Okay? And it says, and you have not danced. We have mourned unto you. And you have not lamented, so we're mourning unto you, but our people are still not lamenting. Okay? And it says, for John came neither eating nor drinking. Okay? John didn't come even eating nor drinking. And it says, they say he have a devil. So here it is, John the Baptist, righteous man, but they still said he had a devil. So it's like, you can't win with these people. And it says, the Son of Man came eating and drinking, the Messiah, right? And it says, behold, a man gluttonous, a wine-bibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. So they were looking at the Messiah like, why is he eating and drinking with sinners and wine-bibbers? This is how they were looking at the Messiah. And it says, but wisdom is justified of her children. So it's like, whatever you try to do, Satan is going to have a problem, right? Because you're not, basically, you're not on the other side. In other words, you cannot be recruited. So again, if Satan knows you can't be recruited, Satan gets upset because you can't be. You're unrecruitable. You're unrecruitable to Satan's realm. That's why we get attacked so heavily in the spirit, right? And Satan knows that. Well, this man, he cannot be recruited. Okay. So we went to that Baba Kishar. See what else we can find. I want to stay on topic. I'm all over the place, right? But forgive me. Right? We just got to flow with the spirit. So Satan's going to come after you because you have high levels of integrity. Okay? Revelations. Right? And go straight to verse 17. And the dragon was wroth. The dragon is this system. The dragon represents Esau, the serpent, the devil. The dragon is the devil. Right? The spiritual demon, Satan. The serpent, devil, dragon, same thing. And what's a dragon known for? A dragon is known for its ferocity, its anger, right? And it says, Baba Kishar, right? You're useless. You're useless. And it says, and the dragon saw that he was cast out unto the earth and persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. Might as well read that. So, persecuting the woman would be Israel. Okay? And the woman was given 2 wings of great eagle that she might fly into the wilderness, into a place where she was nourished for a time and times, half time from the face of the serpent. This was during Herod and the Messiah. Right? When Joseph had to hide Yahushua. And it says, Baba Kishar, and the serpent cast out of his mouth as water the flood after the woman, the armies, right? That he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. Okay? And it says, Baba Kishar, and the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, right? Which the dragon had cast out of her mouth. And it says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. Let's slow it down. It says the dragon was wroth with the woman. Now the dragon represents what? Esau and his kingdom, right? The system was wroth with the woman. Who was the woman? Israel. Okay. And it says, and made war with the remnant of her seed. Okay. And made war with the remnant of her seed. Who's the remnant of the woman's seed? Israel. So they're making war with what? Israel. Right? That's who they're making war with. Israel, the remnant of her seed. So this is a war, and a spiritual war that's going on. The remnant of her seed. So if you keep them commandments, check this out, which keep the commandments of the Most High. So that's who the beast, the dragon, is waging war against, those that are keeping the commandments of Yahushua. So the beast, if you're keeping these words of Yahushua, the beast is going to what? Wage war against you. Because you're keeping the ways of Yahushua. Okay? That have the testimony of Yahushua. So those that have the testimony of Yahushua, there's going to be war waged against them. Because The elites, they don't want you keeping the testimonies of Yahweh Shai. They want you to be in their occultism. They want you to worship Satan and Aleister Crowley and all that rubbish. They don't want you keeping the commandments of Yahweh Shai. So every day is a temptation. Every single day is a temptation. Just like the Messiah was tempted, but the Lord's going to deliver us from these temptations. Okay? And it says, Baba Kishah, bear me just a minute. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw the beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The 7 heads and 10 horns would represent what? This structure. Right? This is a particular structure. The 7 heads and 10 horns. And it says, his 10 crowns, and upon his head was the name of blasphemy. And this represents NATO and the League of Nations. Right? 7 heads, 10 horns. And the 7 heads represent the kings as well. I can't remember who the kings were. Okay? So you got this doofus. See, you put this doofus on camera. Let me get this doofus on camera. Hey, sometimes you got to have a bit of fun with this. You got this guy in his blue shirt walking up and down like a doofus. Right? Oh, your witchcraft ain't working. Right? Bear me just a minute. Bear me just a minute. But sometimes we got to have a bit of fun with this. Right? Remember, we've already got the victory. But let's continue. And it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. And that leopard represents Greece. Alexander the Greek, they call him the freak, right? Alexander, he had a leopard. And he had a leopard-like garment as well. So Greece represents what? The leopard. Okay? And it says, and his feet as the feet of a bear. The bear represents the Russians. Right? The bear represents the Russians. That's who the bear represents. Okay? And his mouth as a lion. Right? And a dragon gave him his power and his seat. The dragon, the Roman Empire. Power and the seat. Okay? And it says, and great authority. So when we talk about NATO, when we talk about the world's leaders organizations, it's run by the beast. Okay? And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. That was the Roman Empire. That's why you had something called the Holy Roman Empire. Right? And it says, and his deadly wound, right, was healed. That deadly wound was healed. When? During the Holy Roman Empire. That's when that deadly wound was healed. Right? And it says, Baba Kishah, and all the world wondered after the beast. It says all the world wondered after the beast. So the whole world, who are they wondering after? The beast. The beast system. Right? That's what they're wondering after. So those that are wondering after the beast, guess what they're going to do? We're going to take, we show you, bear me just a minute. Those that are wondering after the beast, right, which is this system, this is what they're going to take. They're going to end up taking this, right? The chip, which is known as the RFID chip. Of definitely later on, I was thinking, should I bring it out now or bring it out later on? Because I want to do a lesson on this. This is what they want to implement worldwide, globally. They want a human global database worldwide, right? This is what they want to do, right? Hello there. This is what they want to do to you and your children as well. Chip you. What do you think about that, madam? What's your thoughts on that, madam? You can't give me a thought. This is what they want to do. A human global database where your thoughts are read, what you're feeling, when you go to the toilet, when you're having sex with your woman. Everything's going to be on this chip. Everything. Right? And it has mercury in it as well. Okay? And as this woman on her bag, it says, we get to the root of the problem. What's the root of the problem? What's the root of the problem? The elites. So we got to get to the root of this problem of society and let you know what's happening. This is the beast system. You really don't have any freedoms. You really don't have no freedoms. None. Okay? We're living in a technological, virtual type of simulation. Right? This is a simulation that we're living in. It's a virtual simulation that's being ran. Right? That's what we're living in. Right? A virtual simulation that's being controlled. Right? But we're waking you up and letting you know what's going on. Okay? So that's what they want. And Lord willing, we're gonna go into that later on. We're gonna touch upon that later on. Okay? But this is the main goal. This is the main objective. From 1776. Okay? From 1776. You had Adam, I think he goes by the name Adam Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt, he's the one, the co-founder of what? The New World Order. Right? He was the co-founder of the New World Order. From 1776. Right? Where he wanted what? Private, I can't say it. Private property abolished. He wanted all world religions done away with. All these things. Okay? And everything merged into one. And this is what they're seeking to do. Do away with everything. And merge everything into one. Right? So you know what? We might as well go into it. Since we're on this topic, we might as well go into it. So let's go. Revelations. Right? And 4. And they worshipped the dragon. The dragon's going to be pushing this, which is a political structure, which is going to be led by the elites. Right? Because somebody runs it, right? And it says, they that worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. Power. So this beast has been given power. Okay? And they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast. And worship, alright there brother. Yes. And it says, and worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? And who is able to make war with him? Because it seems like nobody can make war with this beast. The dragon. What's the beast? It's the whole system. Right? The whole system is the beast. The dragon, the vampire. Like Bob Marley said, the system is the vampire. Yes. Okay. And it says, and there was given to him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. Power was given unto him to continue 40 on 4 days and 4 months, 2 months, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God. So he opened his mouth in great blasphemy against the Heavenly Father and his Son. Right? So the world system will try to blaspheme the Most High and his Son. Okay? And it says, and open his mouth in blasphemy. So this, you got a Roman system. Okay? And it says, and blasphemy is there in his tabernacle, and them that dwell upon earth and heaven. And it was given to him to make war against the saints. So, this beast system, who is it making war against? Those that believe in the Messiah. They're the ones that are being targeted. Yet Christians, true Christians, are the ones that are being targeted. Yo, sister, I like how you dress, but guess what? The dress could be a little bit loose, right? That's all. She's dressed appropriately, but that could be a bit more loose, right? And it says, Baba Kishar, and it was given to him to make war with the saints. So who are the saints? The saints are those that are on this sign. So it says it was given to him to make war against the saints. The saints are you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Indianos. So this system is going to what? Make war, wage war against you. The true Christians, the true believers. Right? They don't want you teaching this Bible. Soon they're going to outlaw the Bible. Soon they're going to make it a crime for you to have a Bible in your hand. Real soon. Okay? And it says, and the saints, and to overcome them, so the beasts are going to try to overcome us. And it says, yes, I noticed that. They want to go, you know what, a lot of reason why they do that? Because they go to prison and they need some type of security, some backup. So a lot of them turn to the Quran. And I know this because I had certain people that were locked up and the only reason they joined was for protection. But the Quran doesn't tell you about prophecy. It doesn't tell you about the chip. It doesn't tell you about this. The Quran it's not the real deal. I know I'm going to offend a lot of people, but the Quran, all that came from our people. Because Muhammad was illiterate, by the way. Muhammad could not read nor write. He was illiterate. And he was taught by an Israelite woman, by the way, called Khadijah, right? Which was an Israelite. Okay? So even with the Quran, there's a lot of things that are off. And yeah, I've read certain parts of it, but most of it is just like a carbon copy of the Bible. Right? Muhammad was illiterate. And yes, you're not going to like this, he was wearing makeup. He used to wear makeup and eyeliner as well. Right? And he was not the last prophet, because they say he's the last prophet. No, the last prophet of the Bible was John the Revelator. John the Revelator. It wasn't Muhammad. Nowhere in the scriptures does it say that. Right? Nowhere. Right? Islam is idol worship. It's idol of the moon god, which is known as, what do you call it, Habal or something like that, of the crescent moon. That's why they have a crescent moon as a symbol, right? So Islam is another form of idolatry. We're not supposed to worship no moon, nor stars, none of them. So that's why Islam, I can go more into it, but it's not the real deal. Okay? It's a carbon copy of the Bible. Is there certain things in there that are somewhat godly? Yeah, but it's not the Bible, it's not the scriptures. And seeing that we're speaking upon that, let me finish this up and we can go into that. And it says, and it was given unto him to make war against the saints and overcome them. Power was given to him over all kindreds and nations. And all those that dwell upon the earth shall worship him whose name is not written in the book of life. So those that are not written in the book of life would worship what? The beast. And the lamb of the lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. So those that are going to take that chip are going to be those that are not written in the book of life. But now seeing that we were speaking about the Quran, right? There's no prophecies that the Quran goes into. It talks about some Pegasus, some one eye, I don't know, some Pegasus on a horse. Well, that's fables. That's all fables. Right? That's nowhere in the scriptures. Right? Okay? Okay? I hear you, brother. I hear you. May Yahweh heal your soul, man. Right? You never know a homeless. That's right. See, that's why you gotta be careful out here, because you know poor people can come in the form of an angel. That's why you have to be careful. That's why I was listening to what he's saying. He said he ain't got family, but guess what? If you're of the elect, if you are of the elect, Yahweh is your family. The Bible is your family. The scripture says, when my mother and my father forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. Right? May the Lord, may the Lord protect him. May the Lord, guide him. Because That's who we're out here for. The humble, the meek, the poor. Right? Those that are contrite, those that don't really have a voice. Right? So all we're supposed to be seeking is these words, and these words, that's all. Nothing else. Right? That's all we're supposed to be seeking. Right? Everything else is fables outside of this. Go to John. This is John 4. Beloved, believe not every spirit. We can't believe every single spirit. We can't be gullible. Right? Beloved, believe not every spirit. Right? Here it is, it's daytime. And this guy's got his lights on his bike. But it's daytime. Right? See, that's psychological tactics, by the way. That's a form of gaslighting. Right? Neuro-linguistic programming. But the Lord's going to deal with him anyway. And it says, believe not every spirit. So you can't believe every single spirit. You need to research things. Look things up. But try the spirits. So you want to try the spirit out first. Test it. How do we test it? By these scriptures. Right? Whether they are of the Most High. So test it first. Whether it is of the Most High. So we got to filter everything through the scriptures. And the scriptures only. Right? If it doesn't link in with the scriptures, then it doesn't hold no weight. It doesn't hold no weight at all. And it says, because many false prophets have gone out into the world, there's many false prophets. Right? Even with what I'm reading, you've got to back up what I'm saying. You've got to look it up. Don't take what I'm saying for face value. You've got to look it up yourself. Study. Hereby we know the Spirit of the Most High. Every spirit that confesseth, right, Yahweh Shai Mashiach is come in the flesh, is of God. So you got to believe in the record that the Messiah came in the flesh, real flesh, as a man. And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahweh Shai has come in the flesh is not of the Most High. So if you don't believe he came in the flesh, that means you're not of the Most High. Okay? And this is the spirit of the Antichrist. That's the spirit of the Antichrist. Those that don't believe he came in the flesh. Okay? Wherefore, you have heard that it shall come. Even now, it is already in the world. So the Antichrist is here. Right? You got Antichrist walking past you right now. Right? It's not a little devil with a pitchfork, which is it's not that. It's people walking past you that believe in different philosophy. And even now, it is already in the world. Okay? And it says, ye are of the Most High little children, and have overcome the world. So we've overcame this world. Right? And the children are representative of us. Okay? And it says, and you have overcome. Remember, because greater is he that is in you. So the scriptures are, this boosts my faith. The scripture says, and you have overcome. Because he that is in us is greater than the world. Who's in us? Yahweh Shai, the Messiah. Right? So guess what? We've overcome. Okay? And it says, they are of the world, therefore the world heareth them. They're of this world. That's why the world hears them. Because they're living according to the ways of this world. But if you're not of this world, the world ain't really going to receive you like that. The world ain't really going to take to you. Okay? The world's they're going to take to their own. They're not going to take to us. Okay? And it says, we are of the Most High. He that knoweth the Most High, heareth us. He that is not of the Most High, heareth not us. So if you're not of the Most High, you're not going to hear us. If you are, you're going to hear what we got to say. Hereby we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. So we know the spirit of truth and error. The Quran is the spirit of error. The book of Negas is book of error. The book of the dead is the book of error. The 48 laws of Ma'at, book of error. Nuwab, well, what do they call it? Nuwabism, whatever. Book of error. Rastafari, book of error. Even that has its roots in what? Women worship. That's why they do that thing with their hand. And when they do that thing with their hand, what does it look like? It looks like a woman's ovaries when they do that with their hand. Because it's woman worship. A lot of the Rastafaris, they may not know, but they worship woman. Which goes back to Queen of Heaven, Diana, and so forth. So it all has its roots in idolatry. Okay? Right? Yes. Right? It all has its roots in idolatry. Right? And no wonder why you got a lot of songs dedicated to women. Oh, the woman is, she's my earth. Right? Like that Buju Banton song. Thank you for the 9 months you carry me. So that's woman worship. Right? Yes. Yes, brother. Stay safe. And I pray for you as well. I pray for you as well. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, a lot of these practices are rooted in idolatry and Rastafari. We're gonna let the scriptures come out because I don't want to do too much talking over the scriptures. We even go into that as well. Because a lot of our people are brought up on Rastafari, what was it, the late, I don't know, 1980s, right, with the Rastafari, the Marcus Garvey movement, and so forth. But I've got news for you. Marcus Garvey went to university, what was it, I think it was it Birch, I forgot where it was, I forgot what the university was, somewhere in London. So it was taught by Esau's education, so-called white men. I forgot the name of the university. Not Berkshire, somewhere else. But his whole thing was to bring the Negroes from America to Africa. Right? But according to the scriptures, we're Israelites, so he was set up to pacify the Negroes in America to come back to Africa and start up their own money and community. So Marcus Garvey was set up, he was used. And yeah, he was a Mason. He was set up by the bankers, right? They're not going to tell you that, right? Because again, the easiest way to manipulate and trick our people, right, is to get one that looks like our people. You're not going to get a so-called white person to trick our people, so they need to get one that looks like us. And that's where Marcus Garvey came into play, right? And they used him, right there, young man. And they used him, right, to push forth the agenda of go back to Africa. That didn't work out. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. Right? So bear me just a minute. And again, we're going to stay on the Rastafari one thing. Let's go. So many different topics I'm thinking about right now. Oh, beautiful. Let's go to Jeremiah 7. And the word came to me unto Jeremiah from the Lord Jehovah saying, stand in the gate of the Lord's house, right? And it says, and proclaim there this word. So that's what we're here to do. Proclaim this word. And say, hear the words of the Lord, all ye of Judah, but enter into these gates, worship the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, power of hosts, a part of Israel. Let's get straight to it. Jump straight to verse. You know what? Go to verse 13. It says, and now because you have done all these works, saith the Lord, I spake unto you, rising up early, speaking, but ye have not heard, and called you, and you answered not. Wherefore I do this to the house, which is called by their name, wherein ye trust unto the place where I gave unto your fathers, as I have done to Silo. Silo means Israel. And I will cast you out of my sight. And it says, as I have cast out your brethren, even the whole seed of Ephraim. Wherefore pray not for this people. So there's even scriptures that say, don't pray for this people. Don't do that. Neither lift up a prayer for them. Neither make intercession From me I will not hear thee. Seest thou not what they do in the cities of what? The streets of Jerusalem? And it says, the children of what? Gather wood, and fathers kindle the fire, and women knead their dough. This goes back to Easter. To make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, which goes back to what? Queen of Heaven worship, idolatry. In Easter, what do you have? You have Easter bunnies. Bunnies don't lay bunnies don't lay eggs. Bunnies don't lay eggs, so that's fertility worship. That goes back to fertility goddess. It's all rooted in idolatry. Okay? This society is all rooted in idolatry. And in Easter, it's Passover. According to the Bible, it's the Passover during Easter time. Right? So it's a lot of paganistic practices that are being practiced within today. Bunnies don't lay eggs, by the way. So why you got an Easter egg on Easter? It's pagan. It's fertility worship. Right?
Paganism.
That's right. Paganism. Okay? And it says, and the woman knit dough to make cakes of the Queen of Heaven. That's why you got something called, I forgot what the name of it now. What is it? Hot cross buns. They get hot cross, which are delicious, but hot cross buns, that goes back to Easter. Kneading dough. Everything is in the Bible. Everything. And it says, where was I? It was on Jeremiah 7 and 18. And bake cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and pour out drink offerings unto gods. Even when someone dies, what about people do? They pour out some liquor. All that is paganistic customs. And it says, but they may provoke me to anger. So that's how we provoke the Lord to anger. No pictures, please, of me. Alright, taking a picture of them. Alright. And they provoke me to anger. Right? I'm not with all that. That's some weird, perversive behavior. You so-called white people love to take pictures. Right? Bunch of freaks. So yeah, again they bake what? Cakes to the Queen of Heaven, which is all paganistic. We're not supposed to follow the customs of the other nations. And also we can go into Christmas. Right? Because soon enough, a few more months you're going to be celebrating Christmas. This is Jeremiah.
I don't. I never celebrate.
Well, that's good, brother. That's good. Right? Because a lot of people, they feel the need to do that because they're family and so forth. This is Jeremiah 10. Hear the word which the Lord Jehovah shine.
That's why a lot of our people have got problems with their children. Because they follow the isms.
Yep, there are isms and schisms. And you pass that down. Now you have a whole thing, now you've got generational curses because you're worshipping demons. That brings generational curses, so somebody has to break it. You have to be that one in your family to break that generational curse and saying, I'm not gonna eat pork, I'm not gonna celebrate Christmas, I'm not gonna celebrate Halloween. You've got to break those traditions. That's why it's all traditions. Halloween, see there's so many different topics, but I want to stay on Christmas. And it says, learn not the way of the heathen, the other nations, and be not dismayed, right? Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. We're not supposed to be dismayed at the moon, stars, the galaxies. No, they're beautiful, but we're not supposed to be dismayed by them. Look at them and worship them. We're supposed to worship the Creator, not the creature, the Creator. Right? That ties into what? Idolatry. And it says, Baba Kishar, check this out. For the heathen are dismayed at them, the heathen, the other nations. That's why they're idolaters. For the customs of the people are vain, they have vain customs. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest. The work of hands, the workman with the axe. So this is where you get Christmas now. You go to what? You go to a local, I don't know, field, forest, and they cut it out. Right? They deck it with silver and gold. So they cut it out. I forgot, what's the name of the tree? I don't know. What pine tree, whatever. And they cut it out. And they deck it with silver and gold. So it's decked out. That's why you got, it's not real gold, but that's what they used to do back then. They deck it, they celebrate that, they carve that tree out. And they put things upon that tree. And they deck it with gold and silver. They fasten it with nails. Bang it in. Okay? And with hammers. And that it move not. They are upright as a palm tree, but speak not. So they're upright, but they cannot speak. And it says, they must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them. Don't be afraid of them. They're just idols.
Wonder. Where are you? Where is he? Where is he? I need oh my God.
Hey, beautiful, brother. Beautiful. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's scriptural. That's scriptural. You know, and they never see. They think this is a joke. They look at me as just an ordinary man, which I am somewhat. But you have prophets out here, right? You have men that are Jeremiah, Ezekiel. Yeah, all right, sister.
Showing all of it.
Right? Yeah, I know she looks good. She looks good as well, but cover up. And she knows she looks good. That's why she's got it all out on display. But cover up, wear a dress. Right? Save something to their imagination. She looks good as well. But maybe just a minute. No, you're right. There's going to be a time where people are going to be looking for us. But they're not going to be able to find us. Go to Amos. Let's go to Amos. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days will come. Thus saith the Lord. But this brother just said, they're going to be looking for us. They go, where is he? But behold, the days shall come. So it hasn't came yet. This means this is prophecy. And it says, saith the Lord Yahweh Habashai, but I will send a famine in the land. A famine. And there is going to be a famine, but this particular famine, not a famine of bread or thirst for water. There is going to be a famine of bread and water. But this is zoning in on another famine. But the hearing of the words of the Lord Yahweh Yahweh. So what the brother said was completely correct. There's going to be a famine. What's a famine? A shortage. There's going to be EMP attacks. And if you're not on the grid, I'm not going to be doing videos. You think I'm going to be on this forever? You're not going to have no access to these videos. We're going to be off the grid completely. EMP attacks as well. So we're not going to be able to teach its words. So accessibility. So really, don't take this for granted. Those of you that are logging in, that are watching, write down notes. Make sure you're writing down notes and you're taking this down. Because we're not going to be accessible. A lot of us are going to be on the run.
That's right.
Right? We're going to be on the run. All types of things are going to be happening.
That's why.
Right?
You really see the police. Ready.
And they shall wander from sea to sea. And even the police, they're going to give up their badges. Because the police are going to be getting attacked as well. Okay? And it says, and they shall wander from sea to sea. I mean, place to place. And when I'm reading these scriptures, I'm really, really visualizing this as well. I'm always trying to visualize all this playing out. Everything, how it's all going to go down. And it says, and they shall wander from sea to sea. Right? From place to place. Looking for this word. And they shall not find it. From the north to the east. And they shall not find it. Right? And it says, they shall run to and fro. There are people running around like headless chickens. Right? Looking for answers. They're going to run to and fro. Hello there. Right? They're going to be what? Running to and fro. Right? But they're not going to be able to find us. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord. They're going to be seeking for us. Wait them guys, what do they look like? What was that name? But they're not going to be able to find us. Because we're going to be what? Off them streets. We're not going to be easily accessible. Right? And it says, but they shall not find me. So they're not going to be able to find us. Okay? They will not be able to find us. We're not going to be accessible. Now let's go to Proverbs. Right? And we're going to be looked after. We're going to be looked after. They're not. They're not going to be protected. They're not going to be looked after. we will. Go to Proverbs. And that time's coming. Oh man. Let's go to Proverbs.
What I'll do is I'll bring my Bible. That one in red.
Yeah, this one, this is apocrypha. This is
That one.
apocrypha. This has got the Maccabees in it as well. This is a King James Version Bible. Right, so get the King James Version. It's the most accurate version of all of them.
Okay.
And next time you come up, you could just, while you're sitting there, you could just, every scripture I'm going through, just go through it with.
Go for it.
Yeah. But
Bless.
yes, bless you as well. May Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. What's your name?
Anthony.
May Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai rain blessings upon Anthony. May he bless you. May he heal you. May he heal you. Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Rapah, 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 Anthony. Rapah, 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 Anthony. Make sure he gets back safe. Alright? So let's go back to Proverbs now. Go to Proverbs. Okay? See? Those that do good to me, I do good to them. And also those that do evil to me, I still do good to them. Let's go to Proverbs. Babakasha. Proverbs 1. This Proverbs 1 and 20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the street. So wisdom's crying out right now. Wisdom's uttering her voice in these streets. Okay? Right now. This is where you're going to find wisdom. You're going to find wisdom in these streets. Right? And it says, she uttereth her voice in the streets. Right? Not in a little bed corner somewhere. In the streets. That's where wisdom's uttering her voice. And wisdom is not manifest to many. Okay? And it says, she crieth. So we're crying out in the chief place of concourse. So wisdom's crying out right now in that chief place of concourse. This is the chief place of concourse. Let me pan the camera. Right? This is the chief place of concourse. Right here. Right? Where what? Trading's going on. Chief place of concourse. That's where we're supposed to be. That's why I'm out here. Right? And it says, in the opening of the gates, how do you get into these cities? Through gates, through train stations? Through the opening of the gates. Okay? She uttereth her word saying, how long will you simple ones love simplicity? How do you want to love simplicity? How do you want to be simple? Huh? How long do you want to believe in the lies within this society? And what they feed you? And it says, and scorners delight in their scorning. Scorning ain't going to help you. Right? And we love simplicity. And scorners delight in their scorning. Okay? And fools hate knowledge. Okay? So you're not supposed to hate knowledge. Knowledge is supposed to be for your betterment, to save you, to help you. Okay? And it says, Babakasha, Babakasha, turning at my reproof. So we want the people to turn at our reproof in hopes that they will be saved within these last days. Turn. Okay? And it says, behold, I'll pour my spirit out unto you. Let me check the battery. I will pour out my spirit unto you. Right? And it says, Babakasha, and I will make my known words unto you. So the words are going to be made known unto you. Not to everyone. So right now, we're pouring the words of the Heavenly Father out unto you. And only a few are going to receive it. Not everyone. Okay? And it says, because I've called and you refused. So we're calling out to you, but a lot of our people are still refusing this word. Because I've called and you refuse. Our people just shun this word, they just push it aside. Right? I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. So we're stretching out our hand and no one's really regarding. No one really has respect unto this truth. And it says, but you have set a naught at my counsel. So you've got people setting naught at the counsel of the Lord Jehovah Shai. And I would none of my reproof. Right? So they didn't want to hear what we were saying. I will also laugh at your calamity. So we're going to laugh when your calamity hits. We're going to laugh and go, ha 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 ha. We're going to laugh at your calamity when all hell breaks loose. We're going to laugh at you when all hell breaks loose. Because we were warning you and you didn't want to listen. And it says, because you have set a note at all my counsel. So they didn't want to hear our counsel. Right? I would none of my reproof, so they didn't want to hear our reproof. I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your ferret cometh. So we're going to laugh at you, at your calamity when it comes. Right? We're going to laugh at your calamity when it comes. Because we were warning you of what was going to happen. You were laughing at us, so we're going to laugh at you when the martial law troops go upside your head. Upside your head. We're going to laugh. Right? We're going to have that last laugh. And it says, when your fear cometh as a desolation, all of a sudden, when the destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, when shall they call upon me? Right? But I will not answer. But the Heavenly Father is not going to answer you when that destruction comes upon you. It's going to be too late. And it says, they shall call upon me, but I will not answer. So our people are going to call upon the Lord, but the Lord's not going to answer them when all hell breaks loose. And it says, but I will not answer. You shall seek me early. Key thing. Early. But thou shalt not find me. Where were them guys? What was that name they were teaching? But they were not going to find us. Yeah, we're going to be withdrawn. We're going to be withdrawn from society. I'm just waiting for this to happen patiently. I want this to happen. Right? And you should too. Okay? And it says, but they shall call upon me, but I will not answer. So when you're saying, God, please God, God ain't going to hear you. God ain't going to hear your prayers. He ain't going to hear your prayers. Okay? And it says, they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Why? For they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. That's why. Because you hated knowledge and you did not choose the fear of the Lord. And the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So you want wisdom, guess what you got to do? You have to fear the Lord Jehovah Shai, and he will give you that wisdom. But if you don't fear him, then how can he give you that wisdom if you don't fear him? Right? It's simple as that. Fear the Lord Jehovah Shai, and he gives you wisdom. Right? Simple that. Right? Shut up. Right? So you got them demons getting annoyed, see? They're supposed to. That means you're doing something right. Right? But I don't see you having a go at your traffickers, those that are trafficking children. Huh? What about that? Right? So, a lot of people, they're not going to take heed to their own destruction. Right? Few more precepts, then we shut off. Few more precepts, then we shut off. So, really, it would behoove you to take heed to this word right now. What are you waiting for? Take heed. Okay? Where was I? Proverbs 1 and 30. Right, but none of my counsel, so they didn't want to hear this counsel. The scriptures, this is the ultimate counsel. The scriptures. Right? They despise all my reproof, they despise everything we were saying. Therefore should they eat of the fruit of their own way. So now because they didn't want to listen, they're going to eat the fruit of their own way, their own doing. Right? So take heed to these words so you may be safe in these last days. Okay? For they shall eat the fruit of their own doing. So people, they're going to eat the fruit of their own doing, their own wicked works. Right? And it says, and shall be filled with their own devices. They're going to be filled with their own wicked imaginations. Okay? And it says, for the turning away of the simple shall stay them. Okay? And the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whosoever hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely. So hearken unto Yahweh Shai. Hearken unto Yahweh Shai, you're going to dwell safely. If you don't hearken unto Yahweh Shai, then guess what? You're not going to dwell safely. The only safety is these scriptures. That's the only safety. There's no safety outside of these scriptures. That's what you got to understand. Everything outside of these scriptures equals death. That's what you got to understand. So what would you rather? Would you rather life or death? Pick one. Right? Life or death? You want to be on the side of life. Right? You don't want to be trafficking children. Right? You don't want to be a part of these cults. Right? New Agers. Right? Pedophiles. Right? And most people that are walking past you, guess what? They're fucking pedophiles. Right? Trafficking children. So you're laughing, but this is serious. This is what's going on within society. You're shaking your head. No, this is what happens. No, it's true. This is what's going on. He's saying, no, this is what's going on. You got human traffickers. I can't believe this. You got people laughing at the idea of paedophilia and gang, what do they call it? Human trafficking. Oh, this place needs to go down. I'm telling you, this is a sick society. I see it with my own eyes. I see it every day with my own eyes. I see children being trafficked. And guess what? Some of these children don't even belong to that man or woman. They're part of a social care system. Here, this is real. Right? It's called racketeering. And it's big business. Right? Racketeering schemes, scandals. That's why they're smiling, because they know what I'm saying is true. So you got women and men racketeering children and selling them off to somebody else. That's what's going on. Right? This is what's going on. And why do they do this? Because it's big money. There's money involved as well. And yet it's occultism. Because what did the occult deal with? They deal with sacrifice, they deal with trafficking. The occult is what? A satanic ring, including sex rings as well. And yet they also take part in sex parties as well. All these things go on. They have it's one big sex orgy. That's what goes on. But they will not tell you that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You got people denying the obvious. Right? Oh man. See what else we can find.
Yeah, my man.
Not laughing. I'm laughing because when you say there's paedophiles pushing past us, you're fucking right.
That's right. Yeah.
That's what I'm laughing at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, because if you don't laugh, you get.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. If you don't laugh, you get angry. I hear
I'm
what
not
you're
laughing at you at what you're
saying.
saying.
No. Yeah. But this is what's going on within society, and it's all clout. It's all clout because it's trafficking. It's trafficking rings, and it's also involved with prostitution as well. Right? Prostitution, human trafficking. We have to speak up against this. We can't let this happen. Right? Take your children out of these schools. They're trafficking them. Right? They're selling them on auction blocks and the dark web. Yes, on the dark web they can access your children on the dark web. Right? And nobody's saying anything about this. Right? This society is sick. And they're selling them off. Right? And they're being used and abused. Right? I'm telling you, this is what's going on. Right? Excuse me just a minute. And how do we know this thing is true? Go to Deuteronomy. Okay? Bro, it gets me angry. It gets me bloody angry. Right? They're trafficking children. This is Deuteronomy 32. Right? Deuteronomy 32. Right? They're trafficking children. Can't you see? This is Deuteronomy 32. And go straight to verse. But then they're gonna call you the mad one when they're doing it. No, this is real. I know what I see with my eyes. I know what I see. Right? And the Lord's open up my eyes to see that. Right? Okay. What did he just say? Huh? I can't say that. Oh, yes, I can. But that's what's happening. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Right? So I can. Right?
You can't say that.
That's what they're doing. They're trafficking children. You mean I can't say that? Why? Because you're for it. What are you talking about? But I can't say that. Yes, I can. Right? Fuck out of here with that weak stuff. Wearing all red. And it says, see, that's why the Lord's going to deal with that individual as well. So what? You're for paedophilia. You freak. You can't say that. Fuck out of here. And it says, Baba Kasha, Deuteronomy 32 and 17. And they sacrificed unto devils. So they were sacrificing unto devils. Man said, I can't say that. The Lord's going to take him out. And they sacrifice unto devils. This happens today within society. But they're not going to tell you. They're not going to come up to you and say, you know what we do? We go in an underground basement, we sacrifice children, we drink their blood. They're not going to tell you that. These things go on within societies. Right? This is what happens. Right? I'm sure these individuals know about it. They call it adrenochrome, right? Adrenochrome is to what? Make you look younger. They do all these things. It's occultism. Right? We've got to speak out against this. They're trafficking children. Right? That's what they're doing. And it says, Deuteronomy 32 and verse 17, sacrifice unto devils. So the devil needs a sacrifice. So that's why they do it. And some of these children end up missing. Okay? And it says, and to gods they knew not, newly that came up. Newly. And one of them is called Moloch. Moloch means king. Look it up. It was an idol of the Moabites, the so-called Japanese, which they used to sacrifice to. And Moloch today would be what? It means king. Moloch is an owl. Go to Sonoma County. They have an owl, and upon this owl, right, the owl's got his hands crossed out, and they put babies on it. They do it in California, Sonoma County, putting babies on owls, sacrificing them. And these are like people, doctors, politicians, law workers, lawyers. This is what they're doing with children. See, this is how a woman's supposed to be dressed. Pan the camera. Oh, I'm not going to put the camera on it. That's how a woman's supposed to be dressed. Very attractive, just the eyes. And leave something to their imagination. That's how a woman's supposed to be dressed. Okay? But yeah, this is what's happening within society. But they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to let you know. Because if they were to let you know, then they'd be locked up. Yeah, there's secret underground bases as well that they have. Okay? This is what they're doing. Okay? And it says, of the rock that begat thee, that are unmindful, that's forgotten. So this is what goes on within today's society. Right? But only a few's going to really talk about it. Everybody else is just going to turn a blind eye. Right? Because they're conformists to this world, so they're not really going to mention it. Because they'd rather just conform. And they're scared of being targeted, so they won't mention it at all. Right? Unbelievable. And we're going to shut off soon. Oh man. Isaiah. Isaiah, what's it? Isaiah, oh, I lost my train of thought, Where is it? Isaiah 33 and 6. Bear me just a minute. Okay. This is Isaiah 33 and 15. He that walketh uprightly, so we want to walk uprightly, righteously, right? Speak of uprightly, okay? He that despiseth gain, so we're not supposed to be getting bribed and pay off. Nobody should be able to come to you and pay you off. Oh, would you say this? Would you say that? No, we're not supposed to take bribes, man. At all. No amount of money. Right? Because if you take bribes, that means you're compromising them. We're not supposed to take bribes. No matter how much someone comes up to you with an amount of money. Right? And it says, he that despiseth the gain of oppressions. Right? There's a lot of oppression happening as well within this society. Okay? But shaketh his hand from what? Holding of bribes. Let me just check the battery. We're going to shut off soon. A shaketh his hand from holding of bribes. So we're not supposed to take bribes at all. That's a part of having integrity. Right? And it says, but stoppeth his ears from hearing of blood. So we're not supposed to do those things. And shutteth his eyes from seeing evil. So when you see evil, right, you're not supposed to shut your eyes to it and turn a blind eye. Because when you see evil and you turn a blind eye to it, that makes you a partaker in that evil. So you're not supposed to do that, right? You're supposed to call it out and say, no, that's wrong, that's not right. You're not supposed to just give way to it, right? You're supposed to call it out and say, no, that's not right. And it says, Baba Kasha, he shall dwell on high, right? His place shall be the defense, shall be the munitions of the rock, okay? Bread shall be given him, okay? His waters shall be sure. So those that don't do these things, they're going to have a nice high place within society, okay? Within the society, the kingdom to come. That I shall see the king in his beauty. This is what I'm waiting for, because there's nothing here for us, man. This place is a vexation of spirit. This kingdom vexates my spirit. This kingdom vexates my spirit, man. There's nothing ready here for us, right? The only thing we have is what is truth. That's the only thing that's going to keep us going, is this truth. Everything else is vanity. Even Solomon said it. Vanity of vanity. This is all. Everything you see is vanity. The cars, the clothes, the home, traders. It's all vanity. Right? Even the stores you go into, that's vanity. Right? The cars you have, vanity. The wives you have, vanity. It doesn't last. It's short-lived. So what do we really want to attain unto? We want to attain unto this truth. Because this is the only thing that's going to what? Keep us secure. Right? Everything is temporary here. Everything. And we're not taking nothing with us. Right? And you're going to find it out. We can't take nothing with us. Nothing. Right? The only thing we can take is faith. Right? Just faith. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by what? By every word that proceedeth out of his mouth. That's what we're going to live by. Okay? Every word that proceedeth out of his mouth. These scriptures. Right? And that's it. Okay? We have no choice but to. And I want to go into a few more scriptures, then we shut off. Because we're being tempted by Satan. Bear me just a minute. Because we're constantly being tempted in this tree. Right? Tempted. We're being tempted by Satan. We're being tempted by the spiritual demon Satan and his minions. Right? What's the temptation for? To have you doing something you shouldn't be doing. So let's go. Bear me just a minute. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This is 1 Peter 4, right? 4 and 12. Beloved brethren, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial. This is a fiery trial that we are going through. Always keep that in mind. Fiery. So we're being tried. We're being tested. Which is to try you as though some strange thing happened unto you. So it's not strange. It is not strange. Right? And it says, but rejoice as much that ye are partakers, right, of Mashiach's sufferings. When his glory shall be revealed, you shall be glad also with him. So why are we going through what we're going through? Because it's a test. It's a trial of our faith, of our integrity. So what are we going to do? Remain faithful. So with this, I want to give all honors and praises and glory belongs to my Lord and Savior, whose name is Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahabashai, Bahasham, Wahab, Akar, Quadash, and until the next time, Shalom. Shalom.